The Tinker Field Research Grant was the first grant that I ever applied to as a graduate student. I'm in the geography department, and one of the most important things that we study as geographers is this connection between people and place, and how do they overlap. And so with geography, talking to my advisor, he said, the Tinker Field Research Grant would be the perfect opportunity for you to actually go somewhere and connect with people and also see an environment in person and not through a textbook or not through a satellite, and actually going somewhere with an open mind and understanding that there's so much connectivity in this world and so much more that's actually out there in the field that you really can't get just being here at the university. So applying to the Tinker was kind of a natural step for me in that it's meant for people that are early on in their academic careers. And so it offered the flexibility, but also a structure that made me feel as though I was guided by the organization. So really the bottom line with the Tinker Field Research Grant was that it offered the flexibility to go explore through a structure of an organization that really cultivated and fostered curiosity while also having the academic depth that was necessary for my research project. The Tinker Field Research Grant allowed me to take the first steps towards completing my master's thesis right now, and I was just accepted into a PhD program at the University of Kansas. And so I'll be continuing on the same track that my Tinker Field Research Grant initially enabled, to hopefully keep studying groups like I was able to encounter in Peru and looking at it hopefully in the future through a regional lens that allows me to go with other similar-minded geographers to look at different countries around Latin America and see how the people in place might be connected between countries, cultures, and environments, be it rural or urban. And so with this grant, it has completely impacted my academic journey in that it was the first step for me to be enabled to go into the field and start connecting things that I'd learned in the classroom and then taking them into the real world and applying them. And I think there's so much today that with either politics or social that says that what we're studying here at the university is maybe isolated to the university or maybe isn't applicable to the real world. But the Tinker Field Research Grant is an amazing example of a grant that enables people to go make real world change and real world non-academic contributions to communities that can make real lasting impacts around the world. And I think especially now it's very important for people to be applying and looking for opportunities such as this to validate why it's important to be studying and why it's important to be a graduate student. I think the most challenging part about applying to the Tinker was, since it's oftentimes people's first grant that they're applying to, knowing the format of what an actual research proposal looks like can sometimes be intimidating. And so I was lucky enough that my advisor was very good at helping me edit that and looking at it, but maybe not everybody would have an advisor that would know exactly what that looks like. My best advice would be to find somebody that's either done a Tinker or another research grant before and give it your best shot. Look at their grant and say, okay, they have a section on methodology or they have a section on the literature review. And there's little miniature versions of that go into the Tinker grant that it isn't a super long application process, but it's such a good building block on teaching you how to go through the academic grant writing process. And so I guess just getting comfortable with that is something that will come with time. And I guess my biggest piece of advice to somebody that's going through that process is, if you feel nervous or feel like you're doing something wrong, reach out to somebody and know that you don't have to go at it alone, and that navigating the bureaucracy or navigating the different formal aspects of it, you have a team of people at the Center for Latin American and Caribbean Studies that are there to help you do exactly what you're trying to do. So if you're nervous or stressed, just reach out to somebody, because I promise you there's somebody there that's looking to help you succeed.